Let's do it, fool. That was kind of cool, though. Let's get the show on the road. What's up, crypto fam? How you guys doing? Happy Thursday, and welcome back to Sin City Crypto Live. I'm one of your co-hosts, David, and we are coming at you from our studio here, and it's getting really hot, Las Vegas, Nevada, with our week daily live show. Before we get into the content, quick disclaimer, nothing that we say on the channel should be taken as financial advice. It's simply research and opinion. Don't get your panties in a bunch. With that out of the way, I'd like to introduce you to your co-host, Big Rob. What's up?
Hola! Welcome to Crypto. It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. First time checking us out, we here are an entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel where we take the old, the boring, the stale information, and we package it up in a fun and sexy way. Also, here at City Crypto, we don't just do live streams. We also do YouTube shorts now.
Yeah.
We do other videos.
Yeah.
We cut out our arguments. We put them into shorts.
Yep.
Not so short shorts.
Yeah.
You like short shorts?
Yeah. Wait, what? Like me wearing them or like?
Yeah.
I can't go down
Okay,
the road.
first of all-
Yeah, I do.
First
I
of
do.
all, do you own any jean shorts? I feel like you can't. Jean shorts are a
All right.
no-no.
I wore jean shorts in 8th grade, and I
No,
got
no, I'm saying,
ridiculed.
I
I
think
got ridiculed to death.
Everybody
So
used
I
to wear
stopped.
jean shorts, but
I used to wear tall tees and jean shorts.
okay. What's the worst look right now? Jean shorts or jean jacket?
Jean shorts for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're smooth, you can rock a jean jacket. Jean shorts, like who the hell is wearing jean shorts? And I used to wear the ones that go below the knee. It was terrible.
Extra long jean
Yeah,
shorts.
it was terrible,
Oh,
bro.
my
Tall
God.
tees, extra long. It was so bad. It was. If I have a picture, I'll
You're
show
a
you
tall
guys.
guy. Your jean shorts are probably just.
It was
jeans.
bad. I had zero
some
style. I
capri
had
pants.
0 sense of fashion when I was in 8th grade.
If you have
I
a
will be
picture,
the
we need a
first to admit it.
disclaimer first.
Yes.
And there is someone to blame for that. My cousin Andrew. If you're watching, it's your fault, bro. Anyways,
There we go.
You know,
shorts.
I'm advocating for the return of jean shorts.
really?
Yes.
There we go.
Above the knee or below the knee?
You got to go above the knee.
Above the knee, a little bit
Yeah.
though, not too much. You don't want to wear
Because
the,
right
like,
now, I mean, the shorts, you know, like the khaki shorts,
Yeah,
you know, that are up high,
yeah.
you know, those kind of trendy. But you got to have some nice quads for that, though.
You do. Got to definitely not skip leg day. You look like you skip leg day.
I actually, I don't think I've ever started leg day.
Yeah, your calves look like toothpicks.
Leave my calves
Don't worry,
out.
we'll do calf raises together after the show. Okay.
Okay.
Anyways, let's welcome in the chat.
All right,
Let's do a roll
so roll call. So first in the chat, we got True Love, which is a new person, unless they change their name. Hola, True Love. Welcome.
What is your one true love? I want to know.
My one True Love?
Not you. True love's one true love.
Oh.
Our community member.
Anyways, we got Broke Yoshi in here, Tox, Marky Mark, Stereo 2, back in on the ones and twos. We got
Wait, didn't I
Nordy.
fire him yesterday?
I watched the show afterward. You fired him twice.
I know. Why
I
you
wasn't
mad?
even here.
I know.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you got to fire people in person. You
At
can't
least,
just-
don't do that. At least in person.
All right.
We got
You're rehired.
Bullish Kenny G, Strictly Sports, Big Chili Willie. We got Shizzy, Algosaurus, Fino.
You
we
missed
got Big D.
You missed my guy Nordy.
We got Nordy. I already said Nordy. And
you
then, or maybe I didn't. And then we got Atomic Atom, Red Man.
You say Chili Willy? You did.
I did. And that rounds it up.
You say Red Man?
Yes.
Did you say
I did.
Method Man? Did you say Big D?
Can I just do my roll call?
Big D's here for the Big Alpha, NFT Alpha. It's interesting NFT news today. Kind of weird, but it's a metaverse. Interesting. Also, today, what we're going to talk about? We're going to talk about, obviously, Sam Bankman-Fried, Alameda Research. Were they the catalyst that drove Voyager into bankruptcy? We'll talk about that during a hot take. We're also talking about Celsius paid off the entirety of their loan to Maker DAO, unlocking, I think, like $470 million worth of Bitcoin. We're talking Three Arrows Capital and the contagion that's continuing to spread. And Congress. Apparently, even if you have $100 worth of a cryptocurrency, whether it's a stable coin or not, you are no longer allowed to work on any bills that would benefit digital asset space. So we're going to talk about that. I'm pretty pissed. And then also Bitcoin showing some very positive signs, guys, on the charts. We'll talk about that too. All right. Little rundown. I'm going to start doing a short rundown beforehand so people know what to expect.
Amazing.
Thank you, Robin. Take it away.
Cool. Yeah.
Take it away.
All right. So, my first question is, are we going to get to 60 people in the chat today?
No.
And
I say no because last time I said no, we got to 50.
Well, anyways, y'all can like the video, subscribe if you ain't subscribed yet, notification bell, so that way we can get some other people in here. And if you're active in the chat, YouTube says, hey, what's going on over there?
Yeah.
Let's promote it.
They peek their heads in.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
Looks like we also have some late joiners, Hanya and JCap. All right, so jumping into the charts here, or at least the market, we have Bitcoin sitting at $20,913.66. We are almost at the $21,000 mark.
21.5 is a key level, guys.
Is it? What is the key unlock?
Huh? You're fired. It unlocks the door to magical things yet to be seen.
And then Strictly Sports says we now got a Polygon phone and an ETH phone.
We're actually talking about that today. That's on the docket for today. So stay tuned.
So what's going on with Bitcoin, man? We got a big rally, big pump started yesterday afternoon and really took off this morning, 6 a.m. our time, which kind of right around the same time. The
you know that, hold on, don't move out of that chart. You know what that pattern's called? The lobster claw.
The lobster claw?
Yeah, you see at the top, it's got the lobster in the claw.
Is that a real pattern, or did you just make it?
No, I'm going to trademark it, though. Sounds cool, right?
Lobster claw, huh?
Yeah. You're fired again. You're fired again.
And
I'm suspending all withdrawals on your paychecks, Rocco.
Redman calls it a spork. Yeah, you know. Anyways, getting back into the rest of the charts here. Ethereum on the move, man. Ethereum sitting at $1,200. Are the days of a sub $1,000 Ethereum gone?
Possible.
Are those days not going to come back? It is possible.
I want it to come back. I want to buy more.
I do too.
So, you have any orders left to fill, or you're done?
I mean, I still got stablecoin on the side, but
you don't have any current orders.
Yeah, I don't have any. I don't have any limit order buys in right now.
I would put some at 1050, bro.
1050?
Yeah. If it ever wicks down there, you'll be good.
I think so. I still think, you know, when you look at the Bitcoin chart and you zoom out, we've been talking about this in the same way that we had, you know, when it was in this channel in the 30K region. I mean, we went from 28,000 here to 31.6, and then back down to 29,000, and then back up to 31.3. And so, you know, I don't see this playing out any differently than this last zone that we were in. So I think it's pretty reminiscent of that. So now we're in the $20,000 range here. We dipped all the way down to 19, and now lo and behold, we're at almost 21. So as you mentioned, until you break above, I'd say 22,000. I'm just looking off of what history says here. You know, we were up as high as 32,000 here, but as soon as we hit 32,000 on this last channel, we bounced right back down. And so I'm thinking I'm probably going to see the same thing here with the 20K zone, and you're going to get bounces off of 21, 25, maybe 22. But, you know, if we hit 23,000, for example, or 22.5 and are above it for more than, say, I don't know, a full 8 hours or a day, you know what? Hey, maybe the bottom's in. You know, I still think it's more likely that we see lower lows. We test this 15K mark, but you know what? Wouldn't be surprised, man.
You know, my intuition's telling me, bro.
What's that?
My intuition's telling me that when this recession's here, but when it gets official, right? When unemployment numbers go up, GDP Q2 numbers come out, and Bitcoin, I think we'll take one more leg down. I think, but I could be wrong. I'm kind of 50-50 right now.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because just a sneak peek. Jobless claims are down. Jobless claim edge up to highest since January. So unemployment claims are up. We'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah.
And also another marker of recession is in. The price of gold plunges to a 20-month low, which is we'll get into that
copper?
too. Yeah, copper. Excuse me. So taking a look at
plus oil is plunging. Well, let me make my point. I was in the middle of my intuition. You ruined it.
Okay, go ahead. Intuition.
So I think once we do see that other leg down, I think you'll see more of these larger investment firms, these hedge funds, people from traditional finance, traditional banking. I think they'll start getting into crypto. They're like, look, this is a good time. Everything's bottoming out. Crypto looks like it's closest to the bottom. Let's scoop some up, put it on our balance sheet, whether that's through an ETF, whether that's just investing, whether that's offering it to their clients. And I think that'll spark curiosity from retail and say, well, if they're putting their money there, maybe we should too. And I think that could be the catalyst. And I think Bitcoin has a chance to be one of the only asset classes.
The thing is
to be positive.
I'm seeing that the sentiment outside of the crypto community is not good. You know, if you look at CNBC, you look at Jim Cramer, for example.
That dude is a clown, bro.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying that the traditional investors are, and then, you know, the Graham Stephan, he's been covering a lot of the failures of these DeFi and these lenders. And so I'm thinking that right now, outside of the crypto space, a lot of investors are looking at crypto like, ooh, this thing's not looking good. The contagion is spreading, and you know,
but smart money and people who know what the hell they're doing, if the
smart money watches that crap, man.
What?
The smart money watches the media coverage.
You think smart money watches and listens to Jim Cramer? No.
Yeah, you're right.
They don't. So, I'm just saying, for them, this is good. They want the fear. They want people to dump their assets so they can come in.
I'm not saying that Jim Cramer is the go-to guru here. I'm just
literally
saying
just said that.
No, I'm just saying that mainstream media and that traditional finance, as it is on TV, I think does represent what the sentiment is in legacy finance right now. And I think that a lot of people, with exception of a smaller amount of people, I think that the general consensus is with legacy finance is that there's a big shakeout going on in crypto, and that there's massive liquidations, and people are highlighting that, you know, crypto's down from $3 trillion market cap down to 1, and that they're going to see further, you know, lower lows, and that there's going to be more pain in this market. It is a risk on asset, and we are entering into a recession, which means the risk on assets are going to take even further hit. And so I think that's how traditional finance is looking at it, in the same way that they're looking at tech stocks. Right now, it's probably not the best time to get into the NASDAQ. NASDAQ is probably going to dump even more. And if you believe in the correlation between the NASDAQ and Bitcoin, which is pretty damn close in the last couple years, NASDAQ is going to keep dropping if we go deeper to a recession, which there's examples of that.
Well, we're going there, bro.
Well, then if we're going there, you know the NASDAQ's going to keep dropping. So
Correct.
You think it's going to unbuckle from the NASDAQ?
I'm saying it's got a shot, bro. I'm saying it's got a chance, man. I'm saying it's got a chance. Especially with inflation being so high. I'm just saying.
I think, you know, inflation, Bitcoin is a remedy to inflation, just not yet. I mean, it is.
Why not speed it up?
I'm just saying that the adoption and the use case where people are literally putting billions and trillions of dollars of their assets and treasury assets and in your net worth and your savings account, I think people are hesitant to move it over to Bitcoin yet because we don't know how low this is going to go. And in institutional cases, there's no regulation. There's no, outside of, they let exchanges buy and sell it and let you custody it yourself. You have a hard time, actually custodying it through any third party and having confidence in doing so. You don't want to do it through an exchange, obviously, at this point. There's no ETFs that can do it for you. Grayscale's questionable. They got some issues as of lately.
Let me ask you a very thought-provoking question. So we agree that what the U.S. does in terms of monetary and fiscal regulation or decisions affects the global economy. Yes,
100%.
Okay. And the dollar is their world reserve currency, and so when the strength of the dollar goes up, when we see in the Dixie versus the Japanese yen, the Chinese yuan, blah blah blah, and what do you think? Like, if you were the leader of one of these countries, right, and every time the U.S. makes a bad monetary decision, it's going to affect you, what would your remedy be? Like, what would you try to do? Would you try to get off the dollar standard and adopt something else? Like, what?
But yes, you would. Ideally, you would like to. However, at this moment, there's no asset class that is a substitute for the dollar in the volume that a nation state needs. Yes, you can look at El Salvador and be like, that's an exception. It's a tiny economy. But you can't have a major economy with trillions and trillions of dollars trying to use Bitcoin, which is at like Bitcoin is at $300 billion. Like, there's not enough liquidity for to even do $500 billion, much less $250 billion. And so as a nation, like, here's your thing: a nation can't use Bitcoin, not on a replacement type of scenario. If you're a corporate, say you're Apple, and I say, hey, look, you're with Apple. I want you to buy Bitcoin for us, but you cannot. We're not going to buy and custody it ourselves. We're not going to do the spot market. We don't trust ourselves. This whole key thing. Find somebody to buy it for us, and then let them custody it. Like, where would you go at this point? Do you trust any institutions for custodying your crypto?
Like in the crypto
I'm just
space?
saying, like, your job at Apple, they want to hold Bitcoin on the treasury, but they don't want to go and open up a wallet. They want to have, say, ideally would be like JP Morgan buy and hold it. You know what I'm saying? Like, right now those services aren't here. And
but what circumstance, like we're getting ready to go into, would that speed the process up?
Yeah. But where I'm getting at is it's coming. But what I'm saying is that if you're saying that smart money institution, nations can't buy it, institutions can't custody it unless they want to physically buy the spot Bitcoin ETF, but they have no exposure to Bitcoin, they don't know how to do it, they're probably not going to want to do it. They're like, well, I can lose my keys. Or, well, what happens if? Where do we? This is what I'm saying is that if your case for Bitcoin moonshining and unbuckling from the NASDAQ is that institutions and nation states, I don't see how they get exposure to it. That's where I'm getting at. And when I say that it's not ready yet, it's not an inflation hedge yet. It's because, one, the liquidity's not there, the market cap's not there, and then two, how the hell are you supposed to custody if you don't do it yourself? Because there's nobody that's responsible right now. I mean, your best bet would be Coinbase, but if I'm a company, if I'm Apple, I'm not trusting Coinbase. Well, I barely trust Coinbase on myself as a retail. And so, but large players and institutions, they play by different rules. They get different. I get that, but they got to play by, we scream at the top of our lungs, risk management. Why would you not do? And if there's any risk at all when it comes to your treasury assets,
I think you're overblowing the difficulty of the custody thing. Now, the nation state thing, okay, I can see that. But as far as like this whole custody for a large company being such a barricade, I disagree. I think There's so many companies out there that
which
can bridge that
ones?
gap.
But what I'm saying is that because you have the failure of custodial services, one after another.
But those are like the degens, bro. You're talking about Celsius.
Three Arrows Capital. They've been around for 13 years.
Huh?
They've been Three Arrows Capital's been around for 13
they
years.
have
Yeah,
They have not.
Look it up. They've been around for 13 years. You also have who else is I think it was it Babel? Did they do a lot of institution as well? Voyager's accounts, a lot of institutions there. And so
2012, 10 years.
Okay.
10 years. Close. Anyways.
they've been around for a long ass time, man. And so
But everyone
Celsius
agrees
was
they were.
around. I mean, so I don't know how long Celsius.
We agree. Celsius, 3AC, even Voyager. They were making dumb decisions.
Okay, what about BlockFi? That's what I'm saying. Like, who do you trust? And as an institution with so many things going down and so much contagion, I'm just saying that, like, if you're building this narrative that that institutions, smart money, that nation states are going to FOMO and pick up Bitcoin from the ashes, and it's going to go the opposite direction of all the other risky assets, I just don't see it, bro. I don't see it. And I'm not saying if you want Bitcoin, here's the thing. You want Bitcoin bad enough, you'll buy it and you'll find some way of custodying it. I'm not saying you can't. And I'm not saying that, like, if, MicroStrategy obviously does it. Tons of other companies, do it. Tesla has Bitcoin on hand. I'm not saying it's not possible. Obviously, there's avenues and ways of acquiring it if that's what you want to do. I'm just saying it ain't easy, bro. And a lot of questions pop up on how you're going to do it. And
all I'm saying is there's enough resources there to find a solution.
What I'm saying is that when it's easy and it's readily available and it's as easy as picking up the phone and talking to your broker and be like, yo, can you pick up some gold? That, when it's like that, that's when the institutions can pick it up out of the ashes. So back at it. So crypto bubbles, everything green here.
Citibank's starting to custody crypto.
Yeah, it's coming. I just don't think it's gonna pull up crypto in the next 3 weeks. When inflation numbers come in, the recession keeps going down further. You get 0.75% interest rate hike from the Fed. NASDAQ crashes. S&P 500 goes down. I don't think in a month, somehow, by the grace of God, institutions going to FOMO and just pick up Bitcoin. That's just me. Now, crypto fear and greed index is looking good, though. We're at 18 yesterday. So there's a peace of mind in crypto. And, the people that are in this industry, they ain't tripping. We custody our own stuff. And we know what we're doing. And we're early.
Yeah.
That's right. Speaking of stock market, NASDAQ is up 2%. So nice little rally, which is a little surprising. We have some big news around the world. One, the UK Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, has resigned. So he's having a lot of lavish parties while telling all of the citizens that you're not allowed to leave your house and you need to mask up. He's over here inviting his buddies over to his house.
The politicians in the U.S. did the same thing. Gavin Newsom came out, the governor of California, talking about COVID. He went to a dinner at a restaurant, like literally in the middle of the lockdown.
You ain't allowed to go out to dinner in a restaurant if it's open? I'm just saying.
Bro, but you're over here talking about he was at a table of 12 people with no masks on, blah, blah, blah. Man.
How you supposed to eat with a mask on?
Bro, you know what I'm trying to say, man. You know what I'm trying to say.
That's true.
No, I think all of the
like restaurants in Vegas, you couldn't see more than 4 people at the same table.
Here's the thing. I think
saying,
that, I think it is comical that the most vocal politicians and leaders that were saying, do this and do this to protect yourself. After the fact, you look back and they were doing the opposite.
They were doing the complete opposite.
They weren't following their advice. Now, whether or not
we're
not going to go down the
rabbit
rabbit hole of what they should have or should not done as far as protocol, like whatever. You know what? I'm not going there. But
I don't trust them, bro.
If you say you're gonna do something, if you are a leader and you say, hey, you guys don't leave the house, don't have no gatherings, wear a mask.
Your ass better be at home in your basement.
If you're the one dropping the mandates, you better be following the rules your damn self.
What happened to lead by example? Nothing.
Exactly.
By the way, pull that picture up again. Pull up his laptop. So Ben today on his show, Bit Boy, he said Boris Johnson looks like the Wish.com version of Donald Trump. We just got to throw some orange tan on him.
The Wish.com.
Yeah, you know the.
He kind of looks like a clean-shaven Ben with a messed up hairdo.
The hell out.
With a messed up hairdo. So.
And then, John, has John been here before?
I don't think so. John, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. We will talk crypto here shortly. We've been talking crypto. Jobless claims. So jobless, basically this is the unemployment claims, and this is up. Layoffs are up, and planned layoffs are way up. So publicly traded companies will usually
layoffs are way up. That's a metric now.
Well, this is where I was getting at. So, publicly traded companies, a lot of times if they're down or whatever it is, your publicly traded companies will say, "Hey, we're going to lay off these amount of people." Doesn't mean they've done it yet, and so the planned layoffs are way up.
And here's just some insight for you guys when it comes to traditional markets. Keep your eye on the stocks and the companies that are doing stock splits. Because typically those are the companies that need money. I'm not saying it's because they're going to go under, but GameStop just did a 41 split. Amazon just did a split. I believe Tesla's going to do another split. So keep your eye on that if you want to gauge the traditional markets.
So here we have another report indicated that companies announced 32,000 layoffs in June, which is up over 50% from a month ago.
Damn.
Highest total since 2021, February 2021. The initial filings for unemployment benefits totaled 235,000 for the week, and it gained 4,000 from the previous week, which is more than the Dow Jones estimate. And then the continuing claims, so the renewal claims, those are also up 51,000, and that's at a total of 1.375 million people. A lot of people collecting unemployment, man.
Dude.
And
the whole argument from the Fed and the government is the unemployment's still low. Unemployment's still low, all time low.
Well, this is actually, in hindsight, when we've been in recessions, that is actually pretty low. We've seen upwards of like 2 to 3 million before. So this is expected to rise. But just to think that 1.375 million jobless claims is quote unquote low is that's its own problem. So the copper price. So this is at a 20-month low as well. So this is historically an indicator of recession. So a lot of people are freaking out.
I haven't done any like in-depth research on copper's correlation to recession. Did you do any?
Why? Not as of like this week.
I'm assuming
I know that just from my personal, the big commodities. So like gold, silver, and copper are usually good indicators. So for one, you got to think that copper more so than gold, because copper is used.
Semiconductor stuff.
Yeah, it's in every wire
right
in the world.
Right.
So every speaker wire, every outlet plug, it has copper in it.
It's like you saw the price of, I guess, if you saw the price of lumber plummet, homes aren't really being built, or whatever.
You can make an argument that copper is actually a better indicator of the economy. For one, because gold is more used. There is a lot of applications of gold in semiconductors as well, and in circuit boards. However, not as much as in copper. There's a lot more copper being used in electronics and material goods in comparison to gold. And also, a lot of people just hold gold. Nobody's really holding copper. So unless you got a lot of pennies.
Speak for yourself.
Oh, Rocco put his hand up.
You hold copper?
I have a nice bar
of
copper.
copper?
and copper. Yeah.
What do you do with it?
Huh?
You just hold it?
You're
hodling?
Yeah. I've been gifted.
Is it Italian copper?
Yes, it's an Italian copper.
Does it turn green if it gets moisture on
No, so far no.
it? Copper turns green when it gets moisture.
What are you, a chemist?
No, you look at Statue of Liberty, it's green. It's made of copper.
Thank you for that, Robin.
That's fair. After iron and aluminum, copper is the third most consumed metal in the world.
Yeah.
And then copper officially entered the bear market, defined as a 20% decline from previous all-time highs.
So traditional markets, right? 20% drop constitutes a bear market. If that was true in crypto, it would be in a bear market every 2 months.
That is true. Anyways, that is it for my segment.
That's it?
That is it.
For your segment?
For my segment.
Wow. Okay. All right. You know who I miss? I miss Russell.
Yeah?
Yeah, you miss Russell? I miss Russell. Russell, if you're watching,
I miss
you.
DFib. Where DFib at?
Russell, we miss you. I miss you. I love you, buddy. Hope you're doing
I
well.
saw
in Qatar.
DFib commented on a video, like one we recorded.
Yeah, and then people were pushing back on him.
DFib come back?
All right, let's move on. Hot take. Let's go.
That's hot.
All right. Before I pose my question, it was in our thumbnail, so you know we're talking Sam. Robin called him Shark today. Shark Bankman-Fried. And we'll tell you why. Pull up my laptop, Rocco. Voyager loaned $377 million to Sam Bankman-Fried's Alameda Research. Alameda Research, the crypto trading firm co-founded by SBF, owes Voyager $377 million in loans, according to the bankruptcy filing. Alameda's debt to Voyager is the second largest after Three Arrows Capital. And I want to share a tweet from CZ, CEO of Binance. So 3AC owes Voyager a few $100 million, and they went bust. FTX/Alameda gives 3AC $100 million, but didn't save it. Alameda invests in Voyager, then takes a $377 million loan from Voyager. Okay. Voyager went bust. FTX didn't bail him out or return the money. Hard to follow. And then someone commented, if you have enough market influence to make your lender go insolvent and you never have to pay them back, do you do it? To which CZ replied, if you have the ability to move markets, why do you still need a loan? Don't think it is that sinister. So the question I want to pose is, was SBF and Alameda the catalyst for the just the downfall of Voyager? Robin, you go first.
No, the catalyst was the Three Arrows Capital. You're talking $500 million worth of debt that basically got defaulted on. And so that was the catalyst. Now, just because you have a catalyst doesn't mean that there isn't
anti-catalyst.
There isn't safeguards in place. When the Titanic hit the iceberg, that incident for itself was the catalyst. However, in the hull of the ship, the dividers then in the hull of the ship weren't built all the way to the top. So as one flooded, it poured over to the other. So that could have been a safeguard. That could have been something that prevented the ship from sinking. The catalyst itself was iceberg, but it was also multiple points of failure on the way. You could say the same thing about Voyager. The catalyst was Three Arrows Capital, but you also had exposure and debt in other directions that they couldn't recoup. And what happened here was that Voyager lent out money to Alameda Research. Now you would say, why would they do that? Well, you know what? This is actually normal business practices. Exchanges borrow money from one another all the time. And when you go to acquire a business, for example, like FTX does quite oftenly, or invest in someone else, sometimes you just need a little borrow. You need some extra capital to invest to finish a deal, or whatever it is. Maybe you're expanding your operations and offering some new services, and you need to have an influx of liquidity for a new market. Either way, there's tons of examples of why an exchange would need liquidity and need to borrow money. And if you're going to borrow money, where do you borrow money from? Where do I borrow money from? Exchanges and lenders. And so exchanges do the same thing amongst one another. And so, I watched some content creators yesterday and even this morning, and it was pretty much the same thing getting repeated over and over again. Why did Voyager, so here's the question. Why did Voyager borrow $500 million from Alameda Research when Alameda Research owed Voyager $377 million. Kind of like, you're like, why would you do that? Why wouldn't you just, instead of borrowing money, why wouldn't you just pay back the loan?
Break it down, Robin. Break it down.
So
tell them how it is.
It's not that easy.
How does it work?
And so what happened was you had Voyager lent out money to Alameda Research, and in the contract, and I don't have the contract in front of me, but I'm just assuming it was per a normal loan. We all have loans. Your house loan, your car loan. How do you repay your loan? In monthly payments, or in institutions, a lot of times they do quarterly payments. And so you make your payment plus your interest, and that's how you pay off your loan. In the same way that if you have a mortgage and your mortgage lender goes bankruptcy, and the mortgage companies doesn't come to you and be like, hey, we're about to go bankrupt. Can you pay off your house? Like, no, you still make your monthly payments. In the same way, if Voyager's going under and they reach out to Alameda Research, like, hey guys, you owe us that $377 million. Can you make whole on it? Alameda Research is like, nah, man, we just gonna make our payments. Okay. Well, can we borrow some money then? And that's how this started. So then Alameda Research, and this is still normal practice. You see it all the time with countries. We borrow money from China. China borrows money from us. Why are we borrowing money from each other when we already have debt out? It's normal business practices. Countries borrow from one another all the time. So do companies. And so if you were to take a look at what happened here, you had one lender lend to one lender lend to the other. The problem here lies with everybody knew that Three Arrows Capital owed Voyager money. So then when they opened up a line of credit with Alameda Research, it became front center news because they were like, yo, y'all were way exposed as Three Arrows Capital. I know y'all took some L's. Now you have Sam Bankman-Fried, FTX, Alameda Research giving you $500 million. And so everybody started questioning, hey, are they insolvent? Are they insolvent? Are they going to go under? Are they going to go under? That was the narrative.
So you're saying that they were the catalyst.
No, like I said, my Titanic thing. Weren't even paying attention?
I'm literally
listening. It was the beginning catalyst, and then there were multiple points of failure afterwards.
But no one really freaked out about the 3AC thing.
No, it was a news thing, and people were aware of it.
But you said until that article came to light that they had borrowed money from FTX, that's when people started panicking.
That's when people started questioning.
And that's when people started making a run on the bank.
People started questioning, content creators, the media, they started saying, are they insolvent? They were overexposed to Three Arrows Capital. They're borrowing tons of money.
They were more than overexposed.
And then what ended up happening was, because of the media coverage, I don't want to say everybody because not everybody did, but a lot of the users went to Voyager and started pulling their money out. You had your friend do it. We had other people in our chat that said they did it. And so as you have exit liquidity, you're already negative. And remember, and here's another thing that these other media sources got wrong here, is that they didn't borrow $500 million. They didn't borrow $500 million from Alameda Research. They opened up a line of credit that they could draw on in particular times. Was it monthly or quarterly?
It was monthly, and there were limits. And that just boggles my mind. There's so much misinformation out there that it literally just takes 10 minutes of just some research. It's not, people are thinking they just got the $500 million deposited into their bank. So
no, they didn't.
That's not what happened.
Yeah.
Line of credit, you can only withdraw X amount of money per month.
It was like it was like $20-something million a month too.
I'm not sure the exact
I don't
number.
remember the amount, but I'm pretty sure it was like $20 million a month.
Which is nothing when people are making a run on your bank.
Yeah, you're making a run on your bank. You're already underwater because of the Three Arrows Capital. And then, I don't think that when they borrowed that money, they thought it was going to be a front and center article and got overblown. And, you saw what happened to Celsius.
I disagree there.
No, but
they had to have known, bro.
No, well, here's the thing.
After Celsius, everyone's on edge. You got to know that someone was going to print that story, bro.
No, here's the thing. And perhaps they took into account. And you know what? I'm sure at some point they were like, hey, this is going to look bad. But maybe they didn't think it was going to be as bad as it was. Maybe they didn't think that all the customers are going to come and run it.
Well, that's on them.
It is on them. It is on them. But you know what? In their position, what were they supposed to do? Not borrow money? You get what I'm saying? Like, they are already took an L by being they already took a massive loss with the Alameda, with the 3 Euros capital loan. And so they were going to go under if they didn't raise capital. And so they had to raise capital. So whether or not they knew that was going to be a story or not, I think they were just rolling the dice. I think they were like, see if we can borrow money. Maybe it won't be a big story.
That's dumb. I'm not saying what you're saying. I'm not saying what you're saying.
Even if they did know, even if they did know, it doesn't. Would you not try to borrow money if you're going to go under in your company? Obviously, you're going to go under unless you raise capital. So you have to raise capital. You need to borrow money. So what else would you do as a company? It's
just so frustrating because it should have never been put in this position.
But the position happened.
Yes.
And then, what is your next play?
It's like the Fed. And they put themselves in this position and now they're stuck. Whatever decision they make, they're screwed. So
they put themselves so if you were to rewind, they put themselves in a position. They didn't put any collateral back on the loan that they gave 3 Euros Capital. So when they defaulted, they're just basically asked out on $500 million. And then the next biggest creditor was Alameda Research. So they probably opened up a line of communication where like, hey, possible you pay this loan back. And they were just like, nah, we'll lend you money though. And then at that point, they're like, well, we got no other options. Fuck it. Let's just take it. And then lo and behold, the story pops off and everybody runs on the bank. That money they're lending them is a credit line. So they don't have it all up front. They don't have enough money. They got to suspend withdrawals. And then they're like, yo, there's no coming back from this. File bankruptcy. That's how it all played out, if you're wondering on the timeline.
Here's my thoughts on this, okay? First of all, the whole 3AC thing, no collateral if a tiny bit, if any, messed up there. Lending money out, okay, you lend money out to one of your shareholders, fine. But what I don't get is Alameda Sam Bankman, okay? If what Robin's saying, let's say Voyager goes to them and says, hey, I know you're paying us monthly, but we really need this money or we're going to go under. I don't get why, if Sam Bankman-Fried sits here and says he's got $2 billion left to bail out the crypto community or the crypto industry, you're looking at a company which you own a lot of shares in. 12% of a company is not a small number. That is a big number. And you got to know that when you lend them the money versus just paying their money back, and I'm not saying that if they paid the 377 back, Voyager would still be here and not in bankruptcy. I'm not saying that. But chances of it would be better that they wouldn't be. So you got to know, once this story breaks with what happened with Celsius, with what happened with 3 Euros Capital, there's going to be a run on the bank. And guess what? Voyager, publicly traded company in Canada, all their financials are out there. Everyone knows. They already know there's a $650 million hole. You got to know as Alameda. Once that story breaks, there's going to be a run on Voyager, and essentially the company would go under, and the 11% of shares you hold in that company will be worth nothing.
Okay.
That's what doesn't make sense to me.
No. See, this is the problem.
And I get it.
This is the problem.
The loan has terms. I get it.
Yes, but here's the thing. It doesn't matter if you have shares or not. You're still doing business. No. What do you mean? Why are you giving me the look? Look.
Why does it not matter if you have shares or not? I mean, that's money. Okay. That's equity.
No, I get
You're
it.
taking a hit as Alameda.
Okay, let me ask you a question. You have one exchange, FTX, and another exchange, Voyager. If there's less competition, is that not a good thing? First of all, why?
From a business standpoint?
First of all, why would another exchange buy shares on another one? You're either trying to take over or have influence on how they run things.
Well, Alameda's not an exchange.
FTX owns Alameda. Sam Bankman-Fried
Sam
is
Bankman-Fried
the CEO.
co-founded Alameda. FTX doesn't own. They're two separate entities.
Yeah, but it's under the same umbrella. It's like saying SpaceX
They're
and
not
Tesla
under the
don't
same
have
umbrella.
the same thing.
FTX is an exchange. Alameda is a venture capitalist or hedge fund.
They're ran by the same guy.
But they do different things in the market. All I'm saying is, okay, Sam Bankman-Fried, yes, he's a co-founder, CEO. You got to know.
So you don't think there was anything to gain from Voyager going under for FTX? I'm just saying, at FTX Exchange, do you think they had any bit of prosperity at all compared? Because you know what? Going into the bull run, FTX wasn't a household name.
They weren't.
I'm just saying that they've knocked out one of the biggest competitors.
So you're saying they took an L, and I don't know how much money that 11% in the company was.
It's probably cheaper than buying out Voyager. I'm just saying the cost of buying. Okay, let's just say if this whole situation didn't play out, how much money do you think FTX had to pay to buy Voyager? Like, say they wanted to acquire Voyager. It would have been a lot more than the 11%. And so they saw an opportunity. They see a competitor failing, and they're out here grasping at straws like, hey, can we get our money back? And you're like, I'm just saying, man, you can have a restaurant. You got a pizza restaurant, and you're buddy with the pizza restaurant across the street, and you lent them money. You're like, well, I lent them $5,000. They're about to go under. Should I save them? You know what? If they go under, we're going to have a lot more business because the pizza shop across the street's out of business. I'm just saying, man, it's not as cut and simple as, well, he owns stock. He should have bailed him out. And then on top of that, the last thing I want to do with a failing business, if I'm overexposed, is put more money into it. We saw it when it happened with Terra Luna. You don't buy the dip on the way down to lower your dollar cost average. If something is failing, you just put your hands up. You're like, oh, made a mistake there. The last thing you want to do as a savvy investor is to throw tons of money into a failing business. And if you already lost money, if you're looking at Voyager from FTX's perspective or Sam Bankman-Fried's perspective, and you're like, yo, I invested 11%, I bought 11% of this company's shares, and I'm probably going to lose all my money. The last thing you're probably going to do is like, you know what? Let's throw $1 billion at them and try to keep them afloat so I can keep my 11%. And maybe, hopefully, they don't do any dumb moves in the future.
Yeah, okay, to your point. Okay, so I pulled up. Go ahead and pull up my laptop, Rocco. So I pulled up Voyager, their stock. They have about 196 million outstanding shares. So I did 12% of that. Multiply it. But I didn't multiply it by the high. I multiply it by what it was in March, was about $6, and it comes out to about $141 million. So you take $141 million L, possibly gobble up these. I mean, okay, I can see that. I can see that.
That's why the thumbnail, shark, bro, shark.
Yeah,
the dude is.
You got a point, man. You got a good point.
Go and read what he thinks about the crypto market. He ain't bullish on Bitcoin and crypto. He's bullish on being an entrepreneur and making money and squashing the little guy, bro. Go do some research on Sam Bankman-Fried. He ain't all fucking sunshine and tomatoes up in here.
He's playing Captain Save-A-Ho.
And you know what? He goes out on record and says like, "Oh, hey, we're gonna buy up other companies." I think it's just a man trying to scoop up as many companies as he can. If he knocks them over on the process, then hey, so be it. Makes it easier for him to get more market share, right?
You know, Sean brings up a good point. He goes, was Alameda's credit line to Voyager a failed attempt to keep Voyager afloat so that Sam Bankman-Fried didn't have to repay this debt immediately?
He didn't have to repay it regardless.
Right.
He did. They could have even through bankruptcy, if you own a home, if your lender goes bankrupt, you still make your mortgage payments. The last thing
that's under the assumption of someone else coming.
The last thing the debtor can do is sell your loan. So at some point, Voyager is going to sell the debt that Alameda Research had to somebody else. In the same way you can sell a car loan, a home mortgage. So through the bankruptcy process, they're going to sell like Alameda's Research loan to say Coinbase or somebody else. And then they'll pick up the loan and then they'll make the interest payments to them. And so it doesn't change it at all. And their credit line, and maybe they didn't think they were going under. them giving
Come
her
on,
credit.
bro.
No,
Come
but
on.
I'm just
You
saying.
gotta
It doesn't.
know.
You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. It doesn't. Literally, it doesn't matter. They
The guy's
gave
a
them
shark. He
Okay.
knew they were going under.
Okay,
You
okay,
can't
sure.
say-
Okay, then even if that's the case, if he knew this was going on, it doesn't matter. You lent out another company a credit line that you can only pull a little bit out at a time. You're making interest and
You
money
think
off
they
of
set
it.
him up for failure?
I think they literally just did it as a business move.
Okay, is it out of the realm of possibilities that they set him up to fail?
Possibly. I don't know the details of the loan, but in my opinion, they probably issued out the loan in the first place because they just wanted to make interest and make payments. And I think they're like, okay,
And they were charging
we're not going to give you. You're not going to give you all the money up front. We don't trust you. So here, we'll give you a credit line. You make an exorbitant amount of interest payments on it, and you can pull 20 million a month. And you know what? If you go under in 2 months, we're only liable for 20 million. It makes sense in that regard. I'm telling you, dude's FTX is a smart ass motherfucker, bro. I'm just saying, man. They know what they're doing, man. That's all I'm saying, man. Like Shark Tank, baby. There's a reason that
You think he'll go on Shark
That's
Tank?
the reason that I would love to go. They don't
Not
do any
you, him.
financial products though.
Oh yeah.
There's a reason that this Shark Tank show is called Shark Tank because you don't grow a business by doing handshakes and smiling, doing everything like oh well, what you should have did. You know what I mean? Yeah, be ethical, sure, but you get an opportunity to take out a competitor.
Right.
That's what smart companies do. Google, Apple has stepped on and kicked over so many companies. Holy crap! I would say the same thing about Google, but they're our boss. So how
You be
doing,
careful.
Google?
You know, Robin, I want to pivot. Have you you ever seen the movie Godfather?
It's really boring, bro.
What? What? Rocco, please, you got to step in, bro. Rocco. Boring? It's a classic. Number 3 was
Yeah,
one and
the
two.
Sound of Music is a classic too,
Bro,
So
one
is,
and 2. Oh my
So
God.
is
You are
what's the black and white
disrespectful.
Christmas music?
You
the one,
are
The Wonderful Life or
disrespectful.
whatever. I'm just saying, man, it's not a good watch anymore.
Okay, mute him. Rocco, do you remember The Godfather?
Absolutely.
You remember the first one,
Can
Sonny?
you physically sit through the 3-box set
Yes.
movie in today's age?
I have done it
because
multiple
your
times.
personality is boring.
No, you're boring. You don't appreciate. So, Sonny, which was
Sonny,
one of the
I love
main characters,
Sonny.
James Ken, he passed away. If you don't remember, this is what he looks like. Pull my laptop real quick, Rocco.
Oh.
James Ken, I know him
Bravo.
from The Godfather. He passed away, man. It's kind of sad. A really good actor. We had Ray Liotta pass away. So, anyways,
I love Ray. See, like Casino, Goodfellas.
how do
Those
you
are
like?
good ones.
How do you like those and not Godfather?
Really boring, bro. It's really long.
Yeah, oh, because it's long.
You break my heart.
You come to me on my daughter's wedding day. You talk about Godfather. All right, let's move on. Talking points.
Also,
Okay, sorry.
Naomi agrees with me. By the
Yeah.
way, just want to point that
Yeah,
out.
you made a good point, man. Made a good point. Mute him. Yes. Daniel said, yeah, you disrespect a classic like The Godfather. Robert De Niro,
not
Al
saying
Pacino,
it's a bad movie.
James Caan.
I'm not saying it's a bad
Who
movie.
was the
I'm
consigliere?
just saying that me
Robert
personally,
Duvall.
Me personally,
I mean,
I don't want to
Dude,
watch it. It's too.
It was the most star-studded film
Would you watch
ever.
Would you watch the full set of the Lord of the Rings movies?
I don't like Lord of the Rings.
Oh, see, drop the
But
nuke.
we're
Drop the
talking
nuke on this guy here,
classic,
you know?
bro. Okay, what's more of a classic, Lord of the Rings or The Godfather? Put a 1 if it's The Godfather. Put 2 if it's Lord of the Rings. I swear to God, I better see ones in there.
3 is the Matrix.
The Lord of the Rings. I will say The Godfather is definitely a better movie than Lord of the Rings.
There you go.
But I'm just saying that I'm just putting in a category long, drug out, boring watch. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it doesn't have value. You know, like in English class, you have value, but that thing's boring. Who wants to sit through an English class? You know, I'm not saying it makes you smarter, better. You know, you need it for life. I'm not discounting. It's
You can watch the Fast
Rocco,
and Furious series.
Rocco,
one
if-
to this number 8.
If we band together, we can fire Robin. I can't fire him on my own, but we can fire him together. Just let me know. All right, talking points. Let's go. Has Ferris been here before? That's
Ferris. Hola! Welcome, Sin City Crypto.
right. FY, for your entertainment. Ferris, welcome. All right. So we have some Celsius news. I don't think the Celsius community is very happy with us. See a lot of pushback on our video, which is totally fine. I accept multiple views of opinion. It's just, when people resort to you're an idiot or you're a buffoon. That's
the trolls are in full effect in the last in the last week.
If you have a solid point and you disagree with us, hey man, totally fine. I like that actually. But when you go out and say just because you have a microphone doesn't mean you should talk about crypto, blah blah blah, or you question my work ethic.
We got a lot of microphones here.
Yeah, we do have a lot of microphones. I pitched the segment to Robin, but he wasn't going for it. I thought it would have been great. Anyways, all right, Rocco, pull up my laptop, please. Celsius Network fully pays off its Bitcoin loan to MakerDAO as user funds remain locked. In response, Maker released the 22,000 wrapped Bitcoin, currently worth around $459 million. Now, the Celsius community believes that Celsius is doing this to unlock the collateral that is retail money, not understanding that also the money they're using to pay back to unlock this collateral is also retail money. So, Robin, I'm not going to ask a question. I just want your thoughts.
I think there's a disconnect on what's actually happening here and what the Celsius users perceive that's happening. This company is going under. They ain't going to relaunch. More than likely, they're not going to pay anybody back. Now,
so then why
I
are they
say more than likely because, well, there's courts and arbitrators and, trying to avoid jail time with fraud. So, in some way, shape, or form, there's going to be an attempt to get money back. And you know what? Whatever money they do have probably will get spread amongst the debtors. The last to get paid would be the retail unsecured debt, which is...
You mean creditors, not debtors.
Yeah, the unsecured debt. And so those people are probably going to be asked out. But, it's not... I'll say this. It's not out of the realm of possibility that a company pays off its debt and it restructures and comes back and pays people back. Possibility. However, that is so minute. It's so far-fetched. You might as well go buy a lottery ticket. That's probably not going to happen. And so I think what we have here is we have, as you mentioned in your beginning of this article, is that the community is grabbing at straws and they're hoping and they're delusional. And I think that people that are shorting Celsius or buying the tokens cheap and hoping for a pump up or whatever the hell.
No, this whole short squeeze.
Whatever the hell your narrative or prerogative is, I think that people are taking this article as something completely different because you have a loan out. Celsius has a loan. Now, remember, with liquidation points and collateral, a lot of times it's unfavorable for the borrower to have the liquidation event occur. You're standing to lose more money than if you just paid off the loan. And so if you owe $10,000 and you get, say, $14,000 worth of collateral back, obviously it's in your best interest to just pay off the loan and take your collateral back. So it's probably a situation that they were in. They stood more to gain by paying off their loan because right now they're insolvent. They're gonna go under. So if they stood more to gain by just simply holding the cash and just letting liquidation event occur, they would have just let that happen anyways. At this point, they're already suspended trading and they're taking other people's money and doing God knows whatever with it. So it's just a move for the company to grab more money, probably to pay off more debt that they can't afford to pay off, or at least a larger percentage of it. So I think that's all it really is. They're not gonna come back. Like I said, I guess maybe possibly smallest percentage ever.
There's always
a small
sliver, right?
But realistically, not coming back.
Sean brings up a good point, right? Says withdrawals. There, I was in the Reddit Celsius Network Reddit group, and someone posted a screenshot of the email they got or their notification. Their weekly rewards, $4,300, was deposited into their account. Like, I just feel like that isn't that pouring salt on the wound? For that person to get $4,300 a month or a week in rewards, got to be in the 7 figures, right? So you're notifying someone every week, 4,000 rewards were deposited into your account. 4,000 rewards were deposited into your account, knowing they have zero access to it and they probably will never get those rewards. Right or wrong? Is that not pouring salt on the wound?
It's definitely not a good look.
Like, it's just reminding people every single week that some people lost life savings. Every single week. And to leave deposits on, and I think a lot of that, part of that reason is if anyone's trying to get margin called and they want to add more collateral to pay off their loan, they can't use money in their account. They have to deposit more money, which who the hell is going to do that? Who the hell is going to do that? Why would I dump more money in to unlock something I'm probably never going to get back out? It's a messed up situation. I do think there's a tiny sliver of hope that unlocking all this collateral, possibly they'll do the right thing. But then again, you look at, okay, when judging someone's character, you look at their actions versus what they say. And if you look at the actions of Celsius, what they did with customer money, what kind of risks they were taking, the lies they told people 2 days before the withdrawals halted. Mashinsky was on social media, was on interviews. He did an interview with Invest Answers, I believe, a day before. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. You got to know not everything is fine. A day before you pause withdrawals, unless you're stupid, unless you're absolutely stupid, you have zero idea what your company is doing. You have zero communication with your leadership.
Oh, he knew.
Hey, Alex, we're going to run into some issues here, man. Like, we have no liquidity. We can't. And you're over here a day, 2 days before on social media, this and that. Stop spreading FUD. Who's ever had issues, blah, blah, blah. And then bam, withdrawal stop. Look at those actions and think to yourself, do you really think they'll do the right thing and pay people their money back? I hope they will. I don't have any money on Celsius, but I know people who do. And for their sake, I hope. But if I take emotion, here's the thing. If you're in the Celsius community, I beg you, take emotion out of it and just look at facts. Look at facts and use logic, okay? Without emotion. I know, I forget, the word's not coming to me, but when you want something to happen or you need it to happen, you start seeing those things and you only see what you want to see, okay? To be proven right and to keep belief. And if that's what's keeping you going, okay, man. But I'm just saying, if you want to look at it from a logical way, you have to remove all your emotion and look at the facts. Look at what has happened leading up, the decisions they have made, how they have treated your money up to this point, and how they will treat your money moving forward. I'm not saying they can't have a come to light moment where they say, look, we know we messed up, but like they're not even communicating with anyone. Like if I had the intention of paying people back, knowing in the Reddit communities, people are saying they want to attempt suicide, they lost their life savings, you wouldn't be like, hey guys, like if I was Mashinsky and I was like, yo, I messed up bad. First thing was I'd be like, hey guys, we messed up. I take full responsibility, but I swear to God, I am doing everything in my power to get your money back. And I would be like, we just paid off MakerDAO. We unlocked $22,000 in collateral. The plan is to pay you guys back. You will hear nothing. We hear nothing. And I get you hired lawyers and I get you hired the bankruptcy, this and that. But at the end of the day, man, you're still a human being. And on the other side of those accounts of people that can't withdraw, there's human beings there too. And those human beings are not as good off as you are or your secured creditors. They need your help the most. They need your communication the most. And you've remained silent.
Not as good off as you are?
No, like as Mashinsky is. Shut up, man. No, seriously, man.
Sound like you know how to read good.
I'm just saying, dude, like, and I feel like the Celsius community, the people that are commenting on the video saying, we don't know what we're talking about.
Like
and it's because
you got a big heart there. Sounds like you care.
No, but it just like when stuff like this happens, bro, you gotta just, it's people, man. It's people on the other side. Just like when you go to a doctor, sometimes you feel like you're just another paycheck to them. You're just another insurance claim. But when you get that doctor that has that human connection, man, it's just different. And in times like this, you need that human connection. I get it. The lawyers are probably telling you to shut up, but I don't care. I do not care. If your ultimate goal is to get retail their money back, speak to them. Tell them what your plan is. That's it. So I'm just saying, Celsius community, if you're watching, I'm sorry if you don't like what we have to say. I'm sorry if that's not what you want us to say. But we will always give our unbiased, non-emotional, whether I have 50 grand in Cardano, if I see them making mistakes, I'm going to point it out. I don't care.
Sounds pretty emotional to me, bro.
No, I mean like,
I know.
You know what I'm saying. So if it's not what you want to hear, I'm sorry. You want to tune out, please go right ahead. But you'll always get the truth based on our research and our opinion. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, right.
You got anything else to add? We're moving on.
That's it?
And then just real quick, I don't plan on spending too much time on this, but Celsius shuffles its board of directors amid liquidity crisis. I'll pull up my laptop, Rocco. They appointed David Barse and Alan Jeffrey Carr. Now, David Barse is the founder and CEO of X Out Capital, which is a company specializing in identifying other companies to be removed from an index. And Alan Jeffrey Carr is the founder and CEO of Drivetrain, which provides restructuring services. Surprise, not surprise, no news.
It is what it is.
Okay. Anyways, okay. Genesis, keep that in mind, okay? Genesis, we talked about this a week and a half ago, okay? 3 Arrows Capital Contagion reaches Genesis brokerage. The CEO of Genesis, Michael Morrow, confirmed on Wednesday the crypto brokerage, Genesis, was exposed to the now bankrupt 3 Arrows Capital. Genesis sold collateral and hedged downside once 3AC was unable to meet margin call requirements. He said in a series of tweets, the size of Genesis's loans or the associated losses have not been disclosed, but Morrow added that Digital Currency Group, DCG, which also owns CoinDesk, and they're the parent company of Genesis, assumed some of the liabilities to ensure continued operations. They said it could be in the hundreds of millions. Well, guess what? Digital Currency Group, as of last year, had over $50 billion in assets under management. Very strong company. But I'll tell you this: if it wasn't for DCG, Genesis might have already been the next brokerage to fall. Robin, you want to add anything to this?
I wouldn't be surprised if they still do, man. Just because you have a lot of money. I mean, if you would have brought up the idea of 3 Arrows Capital going insolvent or going under, I think you would have questioned it. You would have been like, well, they've been around for a long time. They have a ton of money. They got all these different people investing in them. And so you could make the same case for Genesis as you did for, 3 Arrows Capital. Real blank there.
Right?
Yeah, I wouldn't surprise me. Guys, I know Genesis is like a venture capital company with other services. But anyways, I know we don't have exposure. The average retail investor doesn't have exposure to Genesis, but know that they are a major piece of the puzzle. They are another potential domino, and they are having debt exposures, and they have a lot of issues at hand. So,
also thanks to Paul.
Advertisement.
Oh, BitConnect is an advertisement. Maybe he's comparing it to BitConnect. Yeah, I don't think it's an advertisement. Yeah, BitConnect is gone. Paul Espinoza, we try to be careful, so better take a little extra precaution than that. Paul, thank you so much for the super chat. I'm assuming he's comparing Celsius to BitConnect, which was the biggest Ponzi pyramid scheme ever. Terrible. So appreciate the support.
They were in the top 10 last bull run.
Yeah.
Just to circle back, man, it's not don't think something's too big to fail. Even the Roman Empire went down. Yeah. Roman Empire went down also at right around the same time that they inflated the crap out of their currency. Just saying. I'm just saying, if you were looking at history, the two coincided. Not to mention they poisoned a lot of their own citizens by putting copper in their piping. But for the aqueducts that they have over there.
Yeah. I like ducks. Anyways, pull up my laptop, Rocco. So this is interesting and such bull crap at the same time. Crypto owners are banned from working on U.S. government crypto policies. U.S. government officials who privately own cryptocurrencies are now banned from working on regulations and policies that could affect the value of digital assets. A new advisory notice released by the U.S. Office of Government Ethics, the OGE, on Tuesday stated that the de minimis exemption, which allows for the owners of securities who hold an amount below a certain threshold to work on policy related to that security, is universally inapplicable when it comes to crypto and stablecoins. So this exemption states you can own stock, you can own equities of a company as long as it's under the threshold, and you can still work on bills that could possibly benefit that company or that sector. Well, now they're saying those laws are inapplicable to cryptocurrency and stablecoins. And I'm going to read something interesting, and I think it's down here somewhere, but I'll get back to the point. The notice here we go. The notice specified that this ruling still applies even if the crypto or stablecoin in question were to ever be labeled a security. So even if the SEC comes out and says Ethereum is a security, and now it would fall under the de minimis exemption, which allows people to own securities. But no. Even if Ethereum becomes a security, you still can't hold even $100, even $10 worth and work on any bill that would benefit or change the landscape of the digital asset space. The only exemption from the crackdown on crypto ownership is that policymakers are allowed to hold up to $50,000 in mutual funds that invest broadly in companies that would benefit from crypto. The reasoning behind this is because, quote, they are considered diversified funds.
I mean,
Don't. I swear to God, I do not have the patience. Don't. You cannot, for God's sake, agree with this.
okay.
Dude, don't. I know you always try to go against me, bro, but please use your brain. How does this make sense? How does this make sense?
Okay. In politics right now, I'm not advocating. I'm just saying that I think it's a little absurd. You should have exceptions. Yes. But in politics right now,
You know everything you say before the word "but" means you didn't mean shit.
no, I'm giving you examples.
Rocco, I love you. You're a great
Okay.
person, but you're a piece of shit.
Who runs the energy department of the
U.S.?
U.S. It's usually CEOs of Exxon and British Petroleum, all of the major former players for these big companies tend to run the departments that oversee them. So basically, you have, like in agriculture, the big one is Monsanto. Monsanto is the one that has all the seeds and basically the big crop people and crop people. So they sit on the board of agriculture. They make all the decisions, and so the former CEO will go and take a position there, and then all the laws that are passed are for benefit and for favor of the industry. You see the same thing with the gun laws, the former NRA. You see the same thing when it comes to energy. I'm telling you, every sector does the same thing. And it's obviously a conflict of interest. And I'm not saying that.
So why do they allow it to happen then? In that space,
that's our government and the
but if you hold $100 worth of Bitcoin, you're not allowed.
I'm not saying that this is needed. I'm just saying that
such horseshit.
That the idea perhaps is something they should put throughout government from top to bottom.
So no one, so government officials are not allowed to have
but
any investment.
But here's the thing: you also, you don't want somebody you don't want somebody that has no exposure to an asset and no exposure to how it works, doesn't know anything about
making regulations.
Yeah, making regulations. Yeah,
exactly.
Yes, but I'm saying at the same time, we're not going to want Alex Mashinsky to be sitting on the board of directors.
Oh, no shit.
That's what I'm saying. Is that you don't need.
So this would mean Lummis would have to sell her crypto or essentially take her name off the bill.
I agree with you, David. I'm not saying. All I'm saying is that corruption in federal government with conflict of interest is a normal thing. This seems like it's pushing against the grain on that, and maybe some form of this that isn't so restrictive to where, like, hey, you do need people that understand the space, that have some experience in it, but let's limit something. I don't know. I'm just saying that
What gets me is even if crypto is deemed a security, it still wouldn't be exempt. Doesn't make sense. Fucking bullshit.
a lot of stuff in government don't make sense.
So this was interesting. All right. So the the Wall Street Journal editorial slams the SEC's bewildering Bitcoin ETF denials. Now, try to pull up the original one, but I feel like this one's a little easier just to kind of highlight some of the points. So I pulled the one off on Cointelegraph. The hard-hitting piece, which was published on Wednesday, called out the Gary Gensler-led SEC for overt inconsistencies in how the commission handles applications for Bitcoin-related ETPs, exchange-traded products, also known as ETFs, compared to more traditional assets and other commodities. This is the crypto mom, SEC commissioner, who serves under Gary Gensler, Hester Pierce, said, at what point, if any, does the increasing maturity of the Bitcoin spot markets and the success of similar products elsewhere tip the scale in favor of approval? Requiring, this includes requiring ETP sponsors to okay, so this is why, okay, the editorial board has drawn attention to a two-pronged approach that Gary Gensler is using, that he's using these to deny it, and why it's impossible under these two circumstances that he's put out there. Okay. The first one is the person applying for the spot ETF has to demonstrate that a significant amount of Bitcoin trading occurs on regulated market. Okay. Or the second is that the underlying market must possess a unique resistance to manipulation beyond the protections of traditional markets. Gary Gensler is fully aware that the first criteria simply cannot be met because almost all Bitcoin trading currently occurs on unregulated crypto exchanges. So he said, you have to demonstrate that a significant amount of the Bitcoin trading happens on a regulated market where you know damn well every crypto exchange is not regulated by the SEC. The second criterion is also extremely difficult for sponsors to meet, as the SEC has arbitrarily established a higher standard for spot ETFs without explaining how to satisfy it. So this is what I'm saying, man. He's like, he's a martyr, bro. He wants to go down as the guy. And I don't know, man. I think there's a bigger thing brewing in the background. I don't know. What are you, Robin?
I'm not surprised. But here's the thing. You know, as more and more countries, we see that Europe right now is in the process of passing a spot Bitcoin ETF, the first one in Europe. The other one in Canada, Australia, Brazil.
Wait, US or Europe? Europe? You say Europe? Okay.
So, you know, you have example after example of other countries that are, you know, getting behind the ETF, embracing it and adopting it. And we're dragging our feet. And at some point, we're going to be left behind, man. And so what's said here doesn't surprise me. And, you know, you can make excuse after excuse about why you don't, but it literally doesn't make sense. You're going to have a futures positive, or, you know, short and long.
You got a short ETF.
Yeah, you get the short ETF, and you got the regular one. I mean, the regular futures, which is like the long ETF. It's like, what are we waiting for? Bitcoin's here to stay, whether you want to or not. And at some point, there's gonna be an ETF. I think Gary Gensler understands that. He even said himself, was it 2 weeks ago? It is a commodity.
Bitcoin.
Yes.
Right.
So what is the holdup?
Right.
You agree it's a commodity. It's like gold and oil. There's ETFs for gold and oil all over the place.
Gold, silver, palladium, copper.
Yeah.
They all have ETFs, but Bitcoin can't go in.
And if you were to ask him his honest opinion, if you were to ask Gary, like, Gary, in the next 100 years, will there be a spot Bitcoin ETF? Yes or no? He's going to say yes. He's got to at least acknowledge that it's coming at some point.
Not under my watch.
Nothing is going to change with Bitcoin. It's going to be the same damn protocol because the miners ain't going to vote on anything to change it. And it's going to be the same damn protocol it is today as it is 20 years from now, or 40 years from now, or 10 years from now, or 3 years from now, or whenever the hell this damn thing's going to pass. So if it ain't gonna change now, why the hell does it matter? Just pass the damn thing. And you know what? It's probably best if your concern is on volume and volatility and whatever. Probably best you pass it in the middle of a bear market, right? Obviously, the volume is down. So if you're concerned about volatility, the volume is at historic lows. So just pass it now.
If I'm ever in a room with him, I would just like, you know those people you just look at him and they just make you mad. They make your blood boil.
You know
just
what?
because you look
He's got
at
those
him.
little beady eyes, bro.
The beady eyes, bald, like.
But I used to like him. Now you don't.
I used to like him?
Yeah,
You're fired.
I remember.
You're fired. All right, let's move on. Polygon news. Someone mentioned this earlier. I believe it was Steph, my boy Steph Curry. Polygon to enable Web3 functionality in smartphones with Nothing collaboration. By the way, the name of the company is Nothing, so don't get confused. Polygon has announced a partnership with Nothing. The creator of Phone One, the Ethereum scaling protocol's tech, will be integrated into Nothing's first smartphone. The partnership aims to bring crypto and NFTs to a larger audience by enabling access to Web3 functionality to such users. Some special perks include discount on merchandise, entry into unique offline events, etc. Nothing phone users will be able to access the network's payments and future features such as proof-based identification solutions, Polygon ID, etc. Okay. These perks just regurgitated every NFT collection that comes out. And I know this is not an NFT collection. Utility. Discount on merchandise, special events. That's it for now. What?
And I feel like even special events are going to be underperforming, too.
Dude, like, I've seen it
Remember when we
and
went
I'm
to
newer
Bitcoin,
to the NFT
remember when
space
we went
than
to
I am to
Bitcoin
the crypto
Miami?
space.
We've been to Bitcoin Miami and our passes. Here's the thing. You could have bought a pass to get you access to the rooftop lounge, as they call it.
Oh, my God. That was a joke. A complete joke, bro.
And so people paid extra money for this rooftop lounge. And it literally was like the fire escape exit to go on the roof in hot-ass Miami where you probably...
Nothing. There was no water up there. There was no food up there. There was no one up there.
Yeah.
Literally no one. Nothing.
It was literally like, oh, hey, you can go through those doors if you want. Go on the roof. Stand next to an AC unit. Like, anyways, I feel like that is what you get with these exclusive events. You get some invitation to a private event far as hell away. I mean, if they were to come here in Las Vegas and hold a meetup and like, hey, well, you can use your NFT as a pass to get in. Like, that means you have to get a plane ticket and like, you're not saving anything. And so these pretend utilities, exactly what they are.
Now, proof-based ID, that's pretty cool, right? Proof-based ID, Polygon ID. So, anyways, I don't have much to say on it. I think I have a new person.
I have something to say. Go ahead first.
First, let's give it an all out of Ray.
All right.
Ray. Hola! Welcome. Sin City
Big
Crypto.
Ray. Shout out.
A Polygon Nothing phone and a Solana phone entered in a bar. This is the last call.
Well, Solana would be drunk and falling on the floor before they do last call.
Polygon's not making their own phone, right?
No, they're just
they're
this Nothing phone is incorporating Polygon. So, well, I guess Solana's doing the same thing.
But the way Solana comes out with
no, I thought they were
phone?
making an app. Maybe I didn't read the article
I think,
correctly.
And I might be wrong.
I thought they were just doing an app.
No, I'm pretty sure it's a phone. They're
Like a
partnered with a
physical
phone maker,
okay.
and it's going to be a Solana-based phone. But yeah, to answer your question, Rocco, Solana would already be passed out on the floor, network down.
No, because look, it says Polygon enable Web3 functionality in smartphones with Nothing collaboration. So with Nothing, so they're going to use...
Nothing is a creator of Phone One, and so they're going to incorporate Polygon. Anyways.
Okay. Well, I guess, yeah.
You know, Rocco, I was going to talk about this yesterday, but
I think that you're gonna see
more and more.
You're gonna see Web3 just go on to regular Samsung and iPhones eventually.
Yeah.
And I think
that's
gonna
if
come.
You're crazy enough to try to compete with Apple, and not think that if your product starts catching on, that Apple's not just going to go ahead and just add it in there to their thing. I mean, right?
Good for the consumer.
Right?
I
I
mean,
mean,
at any point,
you would be stupid to launch a search engine right now.
At any point, if any of these phones
Google, I love
happen
you.
to like
Love you, Google.
start taking market share, the second that
They either buy them up,
yeah, they're gonna be like, huh.
or
They're like, we're down 0.5% on phone sales because a new Web3 phone popped up. Like, what do they got that we don't? Web3 functionality? Can we put it in our phone? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Put it in our phone. That's it. That'll be the end of that. And it'll be gone.
I got some shade over here. All right, Rocco.
Yes.
This is how much I know I fire you a lot, but I love you, and this is how much I love you. Pull up my laptop.
Okay.
This was on the dock for yesterday. I was like, I gotta wait for my boy Rocco. Italian government will provide 46 million in subsidies for blockchain projects. The Ministry of Economic Development of Italy has announced that certain blockchain projects will qualify to apply for up to $46 million in government subsidies starting from September for the development of projects related to artificial intelligence, IoT, and blockchain technology. This is a quote from the Minister of Economic Development, Giancarlo Giorgetti. We support companies' investments in cutting-edge technologies with the aim of encouraging the modernization of production systems through management models that are increasingly interconnected, efficient, secure, and fast. The goal of competitiveness requires the manufacturing industry to constantly innovate and use the potential of new technologies. Now, Rocco, and I only learned this when the pandemics first started, and we saw the uptick in Italy and all those deaths. And I saw a lot of things saying Italy has one of the most aged populations, right?
Correct. Yes.
So does this surprise you that, you have people more on the, let's say, the baby boomer side that are maybe more comfortable with traditional money? Are you surprised? I mean, like, what's kind of your thought?
No, I'm not surprised. Actually, I had a chance to have a conversation that kind of interlace in this. That's the idea that the pandemic.
Why don't you put the camera on you too, Rocco?
Oh, yeah, sure. The pandemic really brought. It was different in Italy than here. People really they were locked down in their apartment. They didn't see their family, their parents. The police was patrolling the streets, so you cannot wear a lot only to go down to your supermarket and buy your stuff.
Right.
So they lived the pandemic in a different way, and this brought some needs or update their infrastructure, like the fiber optics and their house. We were very behind. I mean,
From an infrastructure standpoint?
The internet was super slow and always get dialing things on your camera. So, and now still people working at home, like, 3 days and then 2 days in the office.
Right.
So there was a need for a push ahead with the fast internet and everything. So I'm not really surprised. No.
You think more people are going to be receptive? I mean, $46 million. I mean, it's not like the U.S. dishing out $46 million.
For Italy, I know it doesn't sound like a much.
That's what I'm saying.
But for a country that is very old fashioned and is a very old population, actually, it's not too bad.
That's what that was my point. Like, are you surprised, Rob?
Really? I mean, I don't know. I think we're just so used to governments, our own, putting the brakes on anything innovation when it comes to crypto because of the fear of it taking down the world reserve currency. I think that's what we're used to seeing. But, there's example after example of adoption of cryptocurrency, especially in Europe. I know the EU has passed some stringent KYC laws as of lately.
Yeah.
But I think overall there's more of a willing for acceptance of cryptocurrency in Europe. That doesn't really surprise me. I mean, yeah, it might not be that much money in the grand scheme of things, but
I
at
think
least
for
it's a start,
a country like Italy, and I'm not saying this to say Italy's not, but they're economically speaking on a world stage. They're not. I don't even think they're in the top 20. I could be wrong, but $46 million is a lot of money. Like, don't look at the U.S. $20 trillion GDP. I mean, this country, I think, has closer to like 1.5. I'm sure someone will fact check me on this, but this is great, man. This is why I'm saying, guys, don't look at prices. Don't look at what people are saying. Follow what this is a government that's putting $50 million into the development of blockchain. Like, what else do you want? What else do you want? Like, yes, prices right now are down. The sentiment is bad. But look behind the scenes. What's being built? What kind of intellectual property is coming into the space? Where's money flowing? It's flowing to blockchain. All right, NFT segment. Let's go. Robin, I think we're both going to have fun with this article. Did you read this before the show? The United Arab Emirates?
I glanced over it.
Okay. So the UAE, which stands for the United Arab Emirates, to launch first Metaverse hospital catering to medical tourism. They announced it will go live in October. It will be under the management of Thumbay Group, which is a healthcare provider. This will be a fully functional virtual hospital where patients can visit using avatars. They can also use avatars to interact with doctors. Thumbay Group offers augmented reality and virtual reality metaverse technologies to long-term care patients who have been hospitalized. Oh, this is a different article. My bad. The other article, I scratched it. Okay, different article. Okay, so this is actually pretty interesting. To long-term care patients who have been hospitalized for at least 6 months or bedridden or paralyzed. Thumbay said the hospital has given them AR and VR headsets so they can see their homes. For example, a Sri Lankan person has been with us for a very long time who was paralyzed after a car accident, and all of his sensory motions are gone, but only his brain is functioning. He can experience and virtually visit his room in Sri Lanka through AR and VAR technology. This motivates long-term care patients and gives them hope that they can go back to their country. Pretty cool, right?
It is. I think you're going to start seeing a lot of inpatient visits being done in a metaverse in the future.
By the way, did you ever use, remember Doctor on Demand where you can FaceTime a doctor?
Yes, that's where I'm getting at, is that what happened with the pandemic was that a lot of patient visits that didn't need to be done, like measuring your vitals, for example, with mental health, a lot of times the doctor doesn't need to see you physically face to face. So what has happened as of lately with mental health, here in the States at least, is that a lot of these practices are doing all of their consultations over a video call. And so you can ask questions. The same thing is no different from going to a therapist or psychiatrist and sitting on a couch or a chair in front of them, because they're not going over there and touching you and taking your vitals. They're just saying, where are your thoughts at? Or, how are you sitting mentally? And so that's one example of, instead of getting in your car and going to an appointment and filling out all these paperwork in a damn waiting room, and then it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. And it could be done easily from the convenience of your home. Glasses on, baby. Go see your doctor. And you can tell them all the crazy stuff that's in your head, Or I can vent to my therapist and be like, my co-host makes no sense.
Robin is speaking from experience, by the way. I think, the Sri Lanka example they gave, that's pretty interesting, man. People that are battling, like, they have to be at the hospital. They're just like, no hope. And, hi, Robin. You were saying hi to me or Rocco?
No, it was hi to me.
No, I know, I'm kidding. It could give him something, right? So, pretty interesting, pretty cool. All right, so this article, I'm just like, what, why? Pull up the laptop. Buy a Bored Ape now and pay later with new service for Ethereum NFTs.
Is it 3 arrow?
Wow. Decentralized lending protocol Teller wants to help make that price tag seem a little less daunting. Buy a blue chip NFT now and pay it off later. Because Americans love credit, myself included. It's available only for a select number of notable NFT projects, and funds are provided by potential lenders, large and small, who offer liquidity through the platform. Here's how it works. For example, a Bored Ape NFT that a user wants, let's say the user is Robin. Robin saw a Bored Ape and he wants it, and it's listed on OpenSea. Then Robin can use Teller's platform to specify that they want to purchase the asset. So Robin is required to pay a minimum down payment of as much as 50%, depending on the project, but for Bored Apes, it is 50%. So once Robin puts that in, the platform will then attempt to match the prospective borrower to a lender, right? Just like you apply for a personal loan, you apply, they approve you, and then they sell that loan to a lender, to an investor. Now, once that transaction is made, they found a lender, you put your deposit, the NFT goes into an escrow wallet, and if all payments are made on time, then the borrower receives the NFT from the escrow wallet into their personal wallet. Now, a Bored Ape, you could pick one up for about 120K. And if you got to put 60 grand down, if you got 60 grand to put down on a Bored Ape, I'm sure you got another 60 to just buy the whole thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, if it's that much, yeah.
Like, dude, if you're spending 120 grand on NFT, you got to be a high net worth. I mean,
but you know how people are, man. You know, people
like this,
like real degens, real degenerates, not even just short term, where they're like, all right,
debt club.
all right, I can get this Lambo if I take every piece of dollar I got out of the savings account, then I finance and I borrow some money from my dad.
You know,
I can finally drive that Lambo. And it's a status symbol, man. And you know what? If somebody got 60 grand,
this is how
and that's
bubbles
all they
are,
got, and they want that freaking.
This is how bubbles are created, and this is why bubbles burst, man.
Yeah. I would advise I'm not advocating. I would advise. I'm just saying, man. There's degens out there that love buying things they can't afford. It's a status symbol, man. It's like that guy that lives in the ghetto. And he buys that Gucci belt. We're like, bro, do you need that belt?
That was you, right? In Virginia, Fairfax County?
What about the Gucci belt? We never
bought it.
Yeah.
Robin's cheap ass didn't want to pitch in any money.
Right.
You think I'm cheap? It was cheap as F. All right. We're done with our NFT and talking point segment. And we are now moving on to the very final segment. By the way, if you're still with us, we've been going a little over, but we just go with the flow. You know, if you guys are still here, you're active and you're enjoying the content, and we still have more content, we'll go over it. But if we see the numbers drop and people are leaving, then we'll just stop. But as of right now, it looks like, should we keep going or should we halt?
Just look over the markets. Bitcoin's moving.
Bitcoin's pumping.
21.3.
All right. And so Forrest won't be here with us tomorrow. He's actually on vacation with his family. And I felt really bad asking him to come on while he's on vacation. So I was like, hey, bro, we got this. I got this. I'm not as good as you, but I'll try. So I'll save all my market stuff for tomorrow's segment, and we'll just kind of look over the markets. But I'm going to look over the markets because I need my time. Robin. Rocco Plymouth. Okay. Bitcoin's moving. It was just at over 20. Oh, let me refresh. There we go. 21,338. But what I don't like seeing is volume. There is just no volume behind the move. Zero. 55 million, or 55 billion, that's nothing. So I think once we get to like if you take a look here, okay, and by the way, this is a technique I used when I was trading stock options. This is called the Ichimoku Cloud, and it's a lengthy indicator. It takes a long time to get entry and exit points, but they're very, very reliable. And right now is a pitch perfect uptrend. And this is on the 4-hour chart, okay? So if I just hide this and we take a look, this resistance right here, 21.7, say 21.5 to 21.7, there is no volume behind the move. There is no volume. So what I expect us to do is to get to this level and just completely get rejected.
We haven't had volume like this. You have to go all the way back to...
You mean the low volume?
2019, yeah.
Right, and you're seeing a 5% move.
September of 2019.
You're seeing a 5% move on the day in Bitcoin, and just no volume. So that leads me to believe, right? When you want to see, keep this in mind, because when we're back in the bull run and we're back in the bull market, we will look at these same numbers. You know you're in a bull run or a bull market or a big leg up when the volume is behind there, but there's no volume behind the move. So this thing's going to get rejected at $21,700, if not sooner. But the good thing is, if I go to the 1-day chart, we created a double bottom here at 18.9. I mean, we wicked all the way down to 17.5, but 18.8, 18.5 to 18.9 seems to be a pretty good local bottom. Now, the important thing is to break through this 21.5, which the next level would be about 22,600. I don't see us, unless volume picks up, I don't see us blowing past 21.7 and making support on top of that. I think we'll get rejected, come back down. What else is up? ETH is at 1235, up 21% over the last 7 days. BNB is up 14% over the last 7 days. XRP, not really moving. Cardano, not really moving. Vassal hard fork coming in the end of August. Solana up 23% over the last 7 days. And the rounding out the top 10, you have Dogecoin, which, by the way, the Boring Company here in the Boring Company, which is Elon Musk's company, their tunnel went live in Vegas, Robin. Are we going to visit the tunnel?
Hell no.
Yeah, you're right. But you can't pay in Dogecoin at this tunnel. But that's all I want to go over, unless you want to go over something else. Oop. All right, wrap it up. Wrap it twice. We're coming back tomorrow. Rocco, roll the outro music. Rocco, you're hired again. Robin, great show today. Friends, family, Sin City Crypto fam, we love you guys. Thank you so much for joining us on this beautiful Thursday morning. We hope you enjoy the content. Make sure you share the stream. Follow us on Twitter at Sin City Crypto 1. Check out our merch store. Rocco keeps adding cool stuff on there. Make sure you go check it out. And yeah, we will see you guys tomorrow. On behalf of myself, Robin, and Rocco, until tomorrow. Peace. Peace.
Kick my feet up, drink weed, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas, I goof off. I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D's turn into Rabuchon. Kick my feet up, drink weed, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas, I goof off. Smoking on a island, say she wanna ride with me. Took her on a flight, set all her bags from Italy. I sent her with a friend, they shopping there religiously. Whoa, whoa, yeah. You say she love me, but that's when she rockin' Prada bag. That she ready for the next step, whoa, not so fast. Slow down, slow down, slow down, girl, don't you crash. Whoa, whoa, yeah. Cause we can mess up that pretty face, but we can fuck up that pretty lady. Tryna kiss up, I'm in your place. Man, this shit's so crazy. Never thought I'd be doing shit like this again. Put that effort in, girl, then I will pay you. Crash that thing out the park, now I feel like Babe Ruth, baby. This shit I can't do, baby. No, I can't move, baby. Nothing I can't prove, baby. I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D's turn into Rabuchon. Kick my feet up, drink leader, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas, I goof off. I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D's turn into Rabuchon. Kick my feet up, drink leader, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas, I goof off. Question marks along your brain. Wonder if you should try again. Look at me inside your braces. Can't focus when we face to face. Plenty things I could go say. Name a place I go and pay at. Said she want no boo. Been around the world, plenty things I can show you. Taking flights to GA for our soul food. Gotta pay 1K for GA at my shows too. Keep it 1K with my fans even at my lows. Ooh. That's why I'm back. Show your man the things I've showed you. Tell your man how I used to hold you, but I won't hold you. Your new man is lame and all I spoke is true. Light one smoke for you. That sadness comes with cold too. This madness come with shit that's overdue. You strong with yourself, nobody else holding you, but I ain't holding you. You the one I need when I'm off that perk or two. Hit that thing early, got you sleep like curve for you. All these lame ass bitches I curve for you. All these packs and pearls I burnt with you. It's up now, baby, it's stuck. They can look, but they cannot. They gon' hate, so I keep that tuck. All this ice on me like pucks. I work hard, don't need no luck. Only thing I need is my Glock. When there's bread, these birds gon' flock. When they dead, I let them rot. I ain't tryna leave you up, I said stop waiting. And I don't got time for these pussy fuckers playing. You gotta read between the lines that I am saying. Ain't got no time for no more bullshit conversations. Cause I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D's turn into Rabu. booch on. Kick my feet up, drink leader, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas, I goof off. I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D's turn into a booch on. Kick my feet up, drink leader, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas, I goof off. Yeah. Ooh, it's running right on the wall. I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D's turn into a booch on. Kick my feet up, drink leader, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas, I goof off. I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D's turn into a booch on. Kick my feet up, drink leader, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas, I goof off. Smoking on the island, say she wanna ride with me. Took her on a flight, said all her bags from Italy. I sent her with a friend, they shopping there religiously. Whoa, whoa, yeah. She say she love me, but that's when she rockin' Prada bag. Said she ready for the next, I won't, not so fast. Slow down, slow down, slow down, girl, don't you crash. Whoa, whoa, yeah. Cause we can mess up that pretty face, but we can fuck up that pretty lady. Tryna kiss up, I'm in your place. Man, this shit so crazy. Never thought I'd be doing shit like this again. Put that effort in, girl, then I repay you. Crash that thing out the park, now I feel like Babe Ruth, baby. This shit I can't do, baby. No, I can't move, baby. Nothing I can't prove, baby. I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D's turn into a booch on. Kick my feet up, drink leader, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas, I goof off. I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D's turn into a booch on. Kick my feet up, drink leader, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas, I goof off. Question marks along your brain, wonder if you should try again.